Wittgenstein, How Language Shapes Your Reality. It's an almost universally accepted notion that we use language to describe the world. We look at a vibrant sunset and we select the words orange, majestic, or fiery. We believe the experience precedes the description. But what if one of the most brilliant yet perplexing minds of the 20th century flipped that equation entirely? Ludwig Wittgenstein, particularly through his later work, invites us to a deeply personal and revolutionary understanding. Language isn't just a tool for description, it's the very scaffolding of our reality. The architect of meaning. From picture to practice. To truly grasp the profound and life-altering impact of Wittgenstein's thinking, we must first appreciate the shift in his own philosophy. In his early work, the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, he presented a picture theory of language. Essentially, he argued that propositions are like logical pictures of facts in the world. This was a noble, if rigid, attempt to set the ultimate limits of thought and language. But as Wittgenstein matured, he recognized this model was too restrictive, too sterile for the messy, vibrant world we actually inhabit. His later masterpiece, Philosophical Investigations, breaks this frame. He proposes that the meaning of a word is not a fixed, abstract entity or a simple picture of a thing. Instead, meaning is use. This is the subtle yet seismic shift. Think of a carpenter who uses a hammer. The meaning of the hammer isn't just its physical shape, the picture. It's how it's integrated into the entire activity of building, the use. The untranslatable forms of life. The true originality in Wittgenstein's later philosophy lies in the concept of language games and forms of life. He observed that language is not one monolithic thing, but a collection of countless specific activities, games, each with its own rules. Giving orders is a game, speculating about the weather is another, telling a joke is yet another. The rules for joke-telling are entirely different from the rules for scientific theorizing. Crucially, these language games are embedded in what he called forms of life. The shared human context, the cultural bedrock, the collective history, and the instinctive reactions that make certain actions and words make sense. When we call someone brave, that word doesn't just refer to a dictionary definition. It evokes a whole set of shared cultural expectations about danger, duty, and admiration in our form of life. Here's the key takeaway for your reality. If language is a form of life, and you learn a language as part of a form of life, then the very boundaries of your ability to conceptualize, feel, and experience are drawn by that linguistic framework. The colors you see. Different cultures carve up the color spectrum differently. Where English has one word for blue, other languages might have distinct, non-overlapping words for light blue and dark blue that are considered fundamentally different colors, not just shades. The speaker of that language genuinely sees the world structured by those linguistic divisions. The emotions you feel. Are you groggy, melancholy, or perhaps experiencing the untranslatable German feeling of Sehnsucht, a deep, intense longing for something undefined? If your language provides a distinct, established word for an emotional state, it makes that state tangible, recognizable, and discussable, thereby solidifying it as a part of your internal reality. The future you plan. Some languages have grammatical structures that compel the speaker to specify the source of their knowledge, a witnessed event versus a rumor. This grammatical necessity subtly but profoundly changes the way the speakers relate to truth, evidence, and certainty in their day-to-day thinking and planning. The limits of my language mean the limits of my world. Wittgenstein famously wrote, "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." This isn't a tragic statement about being unable to learn new words. It's a deep insight into the structure of consciousness. When we try to discuss things that fall outside any established language game, topics like the absolute meaning of life, pure consciousness, or the ultimate nature of existence, we often stumble. We use words metaphorically, we point, we trail off. We feel as if we are trying to grasp smoke. Wittgenstein would suggest this isn't because the concepts are too grand for language. It's because there is no established practice, no language game, no form of life that gives those words a clear, agreed-upon use. Without use, there is no meaning, and without meaning, there is no definable reality to talk about. Personal application. Taking control of your linguistic diet. Understanding Wittgenstein offers a powerful opportunity for self-awareness. If language is reality's operating system, then you have agency over the code. 1. Acknowledge the frame. Recognize that the negative self-talk, the culturally ingrained fears, and the limits you perceive are often linguistic constructs passed down through your form of life. 2. Seek new games. Learning a new language is not just acquiring vocabulary, it's adopting a new form of life, a new way of seeing time, relationships, and even gravity. It fundamentally expands your internal reality. 3. Define your own use. In your personal life, define what words truly mean to you. If your culture has a rigid definition of success, create your own language game where success means peaceful consistency or courageous vulnerability. By establishing a new personal use for the word, you fundamentally alter the reality you are building for yourself. Ultimately, Wittgenstein teaches us that the world is not merely out there waiting to be described. It is perpetually being constructed, moment by moment, through the shared, messy, and infinitely creative practice we call language. We are not just users of language, we are its architects, and therefore the architects of our own reality. If this deep dive into how our words build our world sparked a realization for you, don't let the conversation stop here. Drop a comment below and tell us one word from another language or a word you invented that you feel expands your personal reality. Hit that like button if this perspective was a game changer, and subscribe to join our ongoing form of life dedicated to exploring the fascinating intersection of philosophy and life.